welcome back to Cup of Joe. As always, I'm your host, Jason McNeil, and today on the show we're going to discuss what I would call immigration crisis in Canada. I don't know if I would say crisis is the best word, but backlog, right? There's definitely a backlog, and I know you've been hearing about it. I know over the last few years it's been an issue, it's been discussed, but I don't think it's been discussed at the level that it really should. Now, recently you may have heard that the Liberal government has announced they're going to let in 320,000 immigrants this year. They're going to up the number. They're going to try to get moving on this backlog. Now, to some people, they might hear a number like that and it might sound alarming. They might be like, hey, wait a minute, that sounds high or whatever. But when you start to look at the numbers and sort of what kind of waiting lists we have in Canada, it's really, you're going to have to hit numbers like that. It's going to have to happen if we want to move forward and sort of, you know, actually reunify some people with their families and stuff. And you know, anyway, these are the numbers that I've got. They update the numbers, I think, every 15 days, every 30 days on the website. I have some questions and some numbers. So if you're sponsoring, let's say, a spouse or common law partner living inside Canada, that's 26 months is the wait. If the partner is living outside Canada, that's 17 months is the wait. Now, I am kind of confused how you could have a common law partner living outside Canada. That doesn't totally make sense to me. Either it's someone that maybe a fiance counts, I don't know, but common law is supposed to be, you're supposed to be living together. So I'm not fully understanding how you would have a common law partner that you want to sponsor that doesn't live here. I don't know if maybe they were common law with you when you lived there. It just seems weird. I don't know. Anyway, dependent child is 16 months. That seems long in and of itself, right? Because, you know, that's a child that's dependent on you. And they're without you, obviously, for 16 months. Hopefully you have a good support system back home, I guess. But, yeah, it seems excessive. Now, looking at adopted children or other relatives, 34 months. So you can adopt a kid, and that kid can grow up, and then that kid can come to Canada. 34 months is a long time, no? That has to be better than that. Now, that's not even the worst of it. So now we have the refugees, because obviously refugees are going to be fast-tracked. They're in crisis. A government-assisted refugee is 6 to 14 months, but a privately sponsored refugee is 6 months to 64 months. Again, I don't know why if a refugee is sponsored privately it would take so much longer, or why the window would be so much bigger, but that's what it is. So this seems very confusing to me, and it seems like a lot of people are waiting. Now, how did I get started on this topic? I'll tell you, it's a bit personal. I was trying to sponsor a family member, or actually my wife was trying to sponsor a family member, to bring them here, and it would fall under the parents and grandparents sort of category. Now, when you look at that category of sponsorship for immigration to Canada, they are now, currently, today, working on applications that were received at or before November 4th, 2011. 2011 was 5-6 years ago. Now, I got a letter when we had originally applied, and it said, you know, recently the Conservative government has said we're taking 5,000 applications a year. Yours is in the 5,000, and I was like, hey, that's pretty good. That means we'll get processed. That's still like 2-3 years away from what they're working on right now, right? So they sent me a letter saying, hey, yeah, everything's good to go, and that paper has sat on a desk for 6 years, and they're still 2 years away from getting to. This is ridiculous, guys. So I realize that 300,000 or 320,000 sounds high. Some people might be alarmed. Some people might also be like, hey, wait a minute. When we look at 6 to 14 months for refugees, this is why people are getting sort of their backs up about how many refugees we're going to bring in from Syria specifically. That's only one classification of refugee, and like I said, a lot of people have been waiting many, many, many years to be reunified with their family members who are trying to come here in a certain way, through a certain system, and that system has been basically just crickets for 5 years. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know who's working there, I don't know who's processing the papers, but, you know, clearly we've not been doing a good job. Again, hopefully we'll start to do better. I'll be watching. I'd like to see where we're at next year if we get to that 300,000 and see how we handle that, because it does present a whole new set of challenges, right? When you start to bring in more and more and more people, you still have to worry about how you're going to take care of these people and still maintain a certain level of service for the people that are already there. So it's a challenging thing, and hopefully they can get it right. Again, this is just my thoughts on it. Cup of Joe Canada, Jason McNeil as always. I'd love to know what you think, so hit me up on the website at cupofjoecanada.com, or you can hit me on Twitter at cupofjoecanada.